Wessel Nijman progress against Ian White, and another young rising star of Dutch darts from the very same hometown is Niels Zonneveld. He's had an excellent time of it on the European Tour this year, hasn't he? Consecutive semi-finals in Göttingen, and Visa reached the quarter-final in the last event in Munich. Of course, is a finalist on the Pro Tour as well. That was in Hildesheim in the summer of last year. Very much a player who is oozing confidence at the moment, and maybe that was something that was a little bit lacking from him over the last year or so. Keane Barry, meanwhile, you could say something very similar about him, closing in on 24 years of age. Already feels like he's been around the place for ages. The UK Open was unfortunately taken out by Gerwyn Price. That felt like quite a big turning point for Keane Barry. Yes, he ended up choking that match against Gerwyn Price, but he's made some changes in his personal life. He's feeling more comfortable, he's happier. So we've got two young players who are hoping to make this year a year of real significance. Niels Zonneveld arguably has already done that.
First leg, Keane to throw first.
Game from Triple Z. Alongside me, Triple D. And darts, Dawson.
Yes, I suppose it is. For a fashion. 60. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think Keane Barry's played some excellent darts at the start of this year, but Niels Zonneveld is just unbelievable. We are getting very used. Oh, well, that one's caught quite a chunk of wire, it would seem.
77.
But we are getting very used to seeing a lot of Pro Tour darts this year where this Dutch triumvirate of Nijman and Zonneveld, the former next-door neighbours, and Kevin Dukes, who live just down the road, they are in action a lot in the same sessions, the same rounds, whether it be floor events, Euro tours. We've already seen Nijman win. Zonneveld will be the favourite here. Dukes will take another young Dutchman in Jurjen van der Velde this afternoon. And it would not surprise you once again to see all three of them in the sort of business end of this tournament.
60.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a gaggle in the practice room, hasn't it? There's been giggling and gaggling going on back there. They've certainly been enjoying themselves, and why wouldn't they, with the way that they've been playing? Saying about this with Wessel Nijman in the last match, even the walk-on just exuding so much more self-belief
45
from how the last year has gone. And mentioned Niels Zonneveld and his nickname being Triple Z and the zigzag Zonneveld stuff. I mean, that's kind 52. Of gone a little bit, hasn't it, in terms of the thoughts about the way that the throw is and things like that. He's put all of that stuff behind him and out of people's minds, and credit to him for doing that.
Yeah, what he is doing is working, and he has shown in recent months that his game has gone to another level. Played really well last year, missed out on a lot of the big tournaments by not very much. This year, I think he's going to be in all of them. Because it's not just he's winning more games, it's the manner of his victories and the opponents he has beaten. 3-8 won't go for Keane Barry.
58. Niels, you require 140.
This would sting. Not going to happen. It's a rather circumspect start from the pair of them, to be honest. I was expecting a little bit more fireworks from the off.
60. Keane, you require 80. $60. Niels, you require 80.
Yeah, slightly conservative start to this one. The breaker throw still very much on, albeit double 11 missed inside.
20.
So Keane Barry now looking to hold.
Games on the first leg, Keane.
In 23 darts.
Second leg, Niels to throw
but
first.
who cares? A hold, a throw, and a bit of a settler in your first game.
Yeah, 8 visit leg, nothing to write home about. But Zonneveld, you look at the players he's beaten this year. Beaten Littler, beaten Van Gerwen on the Euro Tour, played brilliantly. It was Josh Rock who beat Josh Rock, sorry. And it could be Josh Rock he faces in the next round if he wins this. And look at this, 4 perfect darts to start the leg. Forget about leg 1, it was rubbish. Oh, his leg 2 is very nearly still perfect.
21.
I don't see how Niels Zonneveld doesn't hit some 9-darters this year. He's only hit one in his career, and that was 5 years ago in a
91.
floor event. But he keeps putting himself in positions. Nearly won a game with a 9-darter, ended up losing that leg and with it the game to Sebastian Białowski a few weeks ago. But he keeps on firing in 6 perfect to start a leg.
And he's hit the treble again, so double 15.
Games on the second leg, Niels.
Even the look on his face tells you exactly how confident he is.
He's just doing this sort of stuff a lot. 23 darts for Keane Barry to win the opening leg. It only took 11 for Niels Zonneveld to win that one.
What do you think it is that he is doing right, or so right? It's so easy to sit here and say, oh, well, he's more confident. But why? Is it just experience? Is it winning more games? Is it because of the players that you mentioned before that he's beating?
I think he's beaten those players because he is better. And I'm sure you get confidence from that and everything sort of snowballs in the right direction. What has changed for Niels Zonneveld over the last... And this is an 18-month thing. He's been getting better and better.
140.
A bit like Mike De Decker was doing prior to his Grand Prix win. He was getting better, he won on the floor and went on to win a major title. I don't know
59.
what the thing is, if there is one thing, or whether lots of little things have just accumulated to make Niels Zonneveld into a much better player today than he was 2 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 5 years ago when he hit that 9-darter. But whatever is happening, or whatever has happened, has had a demonstrable effect.
60.
And it's been going on long enough where you don't think, oh, this is just a purple patch and he'll go back to playing how he was. Feels like he's reached a new level. He's leveled up his game. Never know how long that lasts, of course. Maybe this is permanent.
You never know how long it lasts in either
60.
direction.
Absolutely.
104.
You've got your Devon Petersons of this world. 4/16s leaves tops.
64.
He definitely did want to leave tops. I don't think he was going for another treble.
24.
Lovely 54. Oh, an even sweeter bullseye from Keane Barry. That's for a holder throw as well, and Zonneveld was sat pretty on tops. Now he looks a little smug, doesn't he, the Irishman?
Well, holds of throw so far, but Keane has managed to hold in 23 darts and then 18 darts, but needed a 10-plus finish on the bullseye. I don't think he's going to be allowed to carry on doing that all the way through this game. But as we saw in our opening game of the day, Valters Melderis was very much second best, but he still managed to hold his throw. And by the end of the game, he was very, very competitive and was able to hold throw either a little more comfortably or just in a better fashion.
And by hitting doubles in one visit, you give yourself the opportunity to stick in there and then improve your scoring. Valters did exactly that. We saw Wessel's operating at 50% on the doubles as well, but that's kind of common fare for him at the moment.
Yeah, these two actually have played already on the Euro Tour this year in Göttingen. It wasn't a great game. And Keane Barry was really struggling with how his darts are going in the board. Now, I understand he may have made a little change to his equipment. And maybe those darts aren't fishtailing around as much. It feels like he's got a bit more control over them because he was not good against Niels when they met in Germany last time out.
Well, they did play in Leicester a couple of weeks ago, and that was the last leg decider, which Keane Barry did win with a 99 average. So, most recent game was even more recent.
Niels record 84.
In that Göttingen match. Now, once again, he might get himself out of jail here with a 57 to leave himself double 11.
62.
Deja vu,
36.
in the sense that he's missed it, this time outside, not inside. Barry on double 18, can't hit double 9. Just a little shuffle.
27. Niels
Always looks a difficult
22.
one to find that with his darts lying down, covering a big portion of that bed. Straight at it or splitting? Looks like he's going straight at it.
James on the
Straight in it as well.
Niels Zonneveld. With leg Keane to throw first. Game.
It's one of those doubles that just a nice height, especially for a left-hander as well. That side of the board. Still, there's an element of risk there, but it's more you look at the confidence side of things, and
60.
there's that belief that he's going to take it first dart, even though it's an unconventional double.
59.
Was a little bit low in the bed, which is why he came down for the 19s. And
Oh,
very nearly producing the
135.
horse. 3 big trebles in 3 different segments. Nicely done by the Irishman.
Keane require 170.
Well, he's already finished one leg on the bullseye. He won't do the same again with the biggest of the bunch.
98.
You saw from that, Zonneveld has had darts to win every leg, but arguably Barry should be 3-1 up. He's had better quality, certainly that last leg. 3 clear darts at double.
92.
Pretty tight
Keane
game.
require 72.
Can this be a comfortable hold? Would be a 5th consecutive holder throw in this match. Tops.
Gash on the 5th leg. Keane. 6 leg Niels to throw first. Game.
Is he growing into this game, Keane? That's a 15 darter. But that's the 180 to start.
80. One hole.
Well, he's lost 5 points, but he said that his treble 20 hitting has just gone through the roof.
93.
He's just a much better player all round. His double 10 hitting is particularly strong, but his scoring is improved. He's just got better in all the important departments. I think his composure, his ability to deal with pressure is also, he's exhibited that superbly on the Euro Tour on more than one occasion this year. And it's 3 consecutive Euro Tours that he's been involved in the final session of action. Semi, quarter-final, the last 3 Euro Tours. So I would imagine Niels Zonneveld is turning up to these weekends thinking, I should be in the mix in the latter stages.
One hole. Niels require 124.
So Barry's already popped this. Can Zonneveld? No 54 for a shot at the ball this time.
56. Keane require 150. 98. Niels require 68.
Might only get 1 dart at double here. No, he does get 2.
Gash on the 6th leg.
Nice adjustment.
Niels Zonneveld.
Didn't look to be the
7 leg
greatest
Keane
marker in the
throw
world.
first. Game. One hole.
Nicely found, that double 4 by Niels Zonneveld. In contrast, that was a pretty bad ton from Keane Barry, because that first dart looked really, really good, and he's only walked away with a 1 treble visit.
We were discussing in the last match, Wessel Nyman against Ian White, which Wessel won 6-2. Wessel's carved himself into a position now where people are fearing him when they are getting him. It probably won't last much longer because he'll be a top 16 player before we know it. But how long do you think it will be before people start thinking this about Niels Zonneveld? He's one of the players who just don't want to fail. Maybe that's already happening.
I think it already is. Last time out in Munich, the champion was Nathan Aspinall, and he was saying over the course of the weekend, while sat in the players' room watching this man chuck in another brilliant performance, he is playing so well. They know. Only Ton leaves that 1-2-4. Keane Barry needs the biggest finish of the lot just to keep these holes of throw going, and that's not going to happen. Is this the opportunity for Zonneveld to lead this game for the first time?
124.
No treble found. Means no attempt at double to win the leg. Keane Barry will just have one, which he does find. And it is another hold of throw. Credit to Keane Barry. He's been finding ways.
Well, the averages have really come together over the last few legs. Now you see it, finishing very, very similar. But the average is now a lot closer than they were. And at the very first game of the day, Sedlacek versus Melderis, 11 legs, every single one of them a hold of throw. That is a pretty rare thing. At the minute, we could see the same in this match. Well, this feels like a brilliant chance for Keane Barry to get a grip on this contest. And he is taking that chance, isn't he? Superb. A trio of ton 40s for Keane Barry, down to 81 as he looks to get the first break in this game.
You require 81.
Finds the treble. Double 13.
55. Niels, you require 106.
Chance for a break comes and goes for Keane Barry. Will he get another chance? He might not, you know. Tops for Zonneveld.
66.
It's over the top, and a little glance over his shoulder into the crowd
26.
there. Sense that something might have distracted him.
I think it was a shout out, but I don't think it was actually directed at the game.
And
ultimately, Keane Barry steps in for double 13. It's a 13 darter. It is the first break of throw in this game, and unless there is another one right now, Keane Barry wins. He was second best in the opening few legs of this. As you can see, Zonneveld had darts in every single one of the first 4 legs. But since then, Barry has been better on his throw. He's managed to get the first break. And one more good leg here for Keane Barry. And Niels Zonneveld is going to see his run of brilliance on the Euro Tour come to an end.
180.
But that's brilliant in and of itself.
$131.
Can he add another? Oh, 140 is certainly good enough.
Well, is it? Because even a ton here for Barry gives him a makeable shot. And it is a ton, and it means Keane Barry's got to look at 130 for the match, and if he takes it, Zonneveld would have needed a 9 darter just to stay in this.
$127. Keane require 130.
Well, he's given himself single to double if he gets the opportunity. But he might not, because Keane Barry wants double 5, which he hits. That is a massive shot from Keane Barry and takes out the in-form Niels Zonneveld with a 130 out shot. Zonneveld looks glum as his excellent run of form on the European Tour stops in the first round here in Sindelfingen. But credit to Keane Barry on the cusp of his 24th birthday has a spot in the next round where he'll take on Josh Rock.